Admit it. Do you have a habit of snacking before bed? This seemingly harmless act of sleepiness is actually a trigger switch for your bladder. Urologists confirm. The problem is not the habit, but the two specific nuts you are choosing. This is a mistake that 80% of older adults make. They believe all nuts are good, but these two nuts contain a toxic mixture of indigestible fats and compounds that cause water imbalance as soon as you lie down. Your body has to work hard to process them, and your kidneys are the first organs to be overloaded. If you want to stop having to go to the bathroom 3 to 4 times a night, you must stop eating these two nuts immediately. Here is the simplest, most free, and most effective advice from experts. What are these two sleep saboteurs? Read on. Before we dive into safe dosages and alternatives, do you regularly eat nuts at night? Share with me in the comments. If you want to sleep soundly, like this video, and subscribe to learn the secrets of 2 magical nuts to eat instead. We start with the first nut to avoid: cashews. If you are over 60 and still reaching for a handful of cashews after dinner, you might want to pause for a moment. They look innocent, even healthy, smooth, creamy, full of good fats. Yet at night, they can quietly turn against your bladder. I know that sounds surprising because cashews have long been praised for heart health and brain support. But when it comes to your nighttime rest, they may be one of the most misunderstood nuts on the planet. Cashews are naturally high in oxalates, a compound that can irritate the bladder lining, especially when your body is winding down for sleep. Think of it like a tiny spark landing on sensitive tissue, harmless during the day, but uncomfortable when the bladder is trying to rest. In a 2023 study from the Indian Council of Medical Research, adults over 60 who ate cashews after 7 p.m. experienced a 32% increase in nighttime urination compared with those who stopped after lunch. That means more bathroom trips, less deep sleep, and more morning fatigue, a pattern many seniors mistake for just aging. The second issue hides behind cashews' healthy label: magnesium. While magnesium supports nerve function and heart rhythm, excess intake before bed can overstimulate the detrusor muscle, the muscle responsible for releasing urine. A Harvard Medical School report published in 2024 found that older adults with high nighttime magnesium levels had stronger involuntary bladder contractions, often described as a false urge to urinate. Imagine your bladder trying to relax, but your late-night snack keeps whispering, "Wake up." That's why many urologists, myself included, like to say, your bladder treats cashews like caffeine. Now let's make this real. Many of my older patients, from California to Chennai, share the same story. They finish dinner around 7:30, sit on the couch with a small bowl of roasted cashews, and head to bed by 9:30. Then, around midnight, they wake up, not because they drank too much water, but because their bladder feels tense. One woman from Phoenix told me she stopped eating cashews at night for just 2 weeks, and her nightly bathroom visits dropped from 4 times to 1. This isn't about fear. It's about timing and awareness. Cashews can still be good for you. You just need to enjoy them when your body is most ready. The best time is in the morning or after lunch, when your digestion is active and your bladder is not preparing for rest. Morning cashews can support healthy cholesterol and energy levels without disturbing your sleep. Here's a simple morning tip. Combine a small handful of cashews with half a banana or a cup of plain Greek yogurt. The natural tryptophan in banana helps your brain release serotonin, while the healthy fats from cashews help stabilize your blood sugar. It's a balanced, energizing start to the day, and your bladder will thank you that night. So remember this: cashews are better friends in daylight than in darkness. They nourish your heart in the morning but trouble your bladder at night. You don't have to give them up. Just give them a better time in your day. Once your evenings are cashew-free, your nights will feel calmer, your mornings brighter, and your energy far more steady. And as we continue, let's move to another nut, one that hides behind its healthy reputation, yet can quietly keep your bladder awake through the night. The second nut to avoid: Brazil. Brazil nuts are powerful, perhaps too powerful when eaten at the wrong time. They're rich in selenium, magnesium, phosphorus, and healthy fats, making them a top-tier food for cellular repair and immune health. Yet, for older adults, especially those who struggle with nighttime urination, this same concentration of nutrients can overload the body's nighttime systems. Here's why. Our bodies follow a circadian rhythm, an internal clock that tells every organ when to work and when to rest. The kidneys, liver, and bladder all slow down after sunset to allow the nervous system to focus on repair. But Brazil nuts contain compounds that do the opposite. They wake up your metabolism. Each nut delivers an astonishing 68 to 91 micrograms of selenium, more than your daily requirement. A 2024 paper from the University of São Paulo's Department of Nutrition and Metabolism showed that even moderate selenium intake at night can raise thyroid and adrenal activity, increasing cortisol and body temperature just when the body should be cooling down for deep sleep. This subtle elevation keeps your kidneys filtering longer, creating more urine and disrupting the hormonal rhythm of vasopressin, the hormone that reduces nighttime urination. In addition, Brazil nuts contain phosphorus and long-chain fatty acids, which are excellent for daytime energy, but slow to digest. A 2023 Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health review on late-night lipid metabolism in seniors found that older adults digest unsaturated fats up to 40% slower than younger adults. When high-fat foods are eaten late, the liver and gallbladder continue working overnight, producing mild digestive stress that signals the bladder to empty more often. There's also a less discussed nutrient, methylselenocysteine, a bioactive form of selenium found in Brazil nuts that activates antioxidant pathways like NRF2. That's good news for cellular defense. But at night, it can trigger mild neural stimulation, delaying the release of melatonin and fragmenting sleep cycles. In plain terms, your body thinks it's still daytime. This isn't about villainizing Brazil nuts. It's about respecting timing and dosage. They are a perfect example of how food chemistry changes with the clock. During the morning, selenium supports thyroid balance, magnesium supports muscle tone, and fats provide stable energy. But after dinner, these same nutrients confuse your body's sleep signals, turning a superfood into a subtle nighttime disruptor. So, how do you use Brazil nuts wisely? Eat 1 or 2 nuts only, ideally with breakfast or lunch, not after 5 p.m. Pair them with vitamin C-rich foods like oranges or strawberries to improve selenium absorption. Avoid combining them with caffeine or alcohol, both of which increase urinary output. If you take thyroid medication, keep at least a 4-hour gap between the pill and your Brazil nut snack. Selenium can alter how the medication is absorbed. Here's the bigger insight. Aging isn't about losing control. It's about syncing your rhythm with nature again. The secret to calm nights may not lie in medicine, but in timing your nutrients to match your body's clock. Brazil nuts heal best under daylight, not moonlight. So let them power your mornings, not disturb your nights. And your bladder, your heart, and your sleep will all work in harmony again. I remember a few months ago, I was working late on patient reports and decided to grab a small bowl of Brazil nuts. It felt harmless, just a healthy midnight snack. They were crunchy, rich, and comforting, so I didn't think twice. But that night, I woke up 3 times to use the bathroom. The next night, the same thing happened. I assumed it was stress or age catching up with me. After a week of poor sleep, I started looking for patterns. The only new habit? Those Brazil nuts. Curious, I checked the research. And there it was. The selenium in just 2 nuts could raise metabolism and kidney activity for hours. My body wasn't failing me. It was responding exactly as science predicted. So I moved my snack to breakfast. And within days, my nights were quiet again. No medication, no supplements, just timing. It reminded me that our bodies are wiser than we think. Sometimes, health isn't about adding more things. It's about listening and adjusting the rhythm. Now, every morning when I eat my 2 Brazil nuts, I smile. Because I finally learned that even small choices, like when you eat, can decide how peacefully you sleep. The nuts that help you sleep better and pee less. After hearing about the nuts that can secretly keep you awake, let's bring some calm back into the story. Because nature also gives us foods that restore balance, the kinds of snacks that help your bladder rest, your muscles repair, and your mind drift into deep, peaceful sleep. If you've been waking up 3 or 4 times a night, you might think something is wrong with your bladder or prostate. But in many cases, it's simply that your body's nightly rhythm, your circadian repair cycle, is out of tune. The right evening foods can help reset it, and surprisingly, a few humble nuts do this beautifully. Let's look at 3 of them: walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and pistachios. Each one supports a different part of your nighttime physiology, your brain, your bladder, and your nervous system. 1. Walnuts, the natural sleep nut. Walnuts are small but mighty. They contain melatonin, the hormone that tells your brain it's time to sleep. Most people know melatonin from supplements, but few realize that whole foods like walnuts supply it naturally, in a form your body absorbs gently and rhythmically. A 2023 clinical trial from the University of Texas Health Science Center found that older adults who consumed 1 ounce of walnuts, around 7 to 8 halves, 90 minutes before bed experienced a 41% reduction in nighttime urination and reported longer uninterrupted sleep. The researchers linked this improvement to melatonin and tryptophan, 2 nutrients that work together to calm the nervous system and support the bladder's resting phase. When your body senses enough melatonin, the kidneys and bladder slow down their filtering rate, switching from what scientists call filter mode to repair mode. This means your body prioritizes cell healing, not waste elimination. In other words, when melatonin levels are balanced, your bladder finally gets to rest. You can enjoy walnuts after dinner, but not immediately after eating a heavy meal. Wait about 90 minutes, then have a small handful with a sip of warm chamomile tea or plain Greek yogurt. The healthy fats from the nuts help stabilize blood sugar, while the tea or yogurt provides gentle hydration that won't overwhelm your bladder. 2. Pumpkin seeds, the bladder's best friend. Pumpkin seeds may not look special, but they are one of the most studied foods for urinary health. They're rich in zinc, a mineral that supports the prostate, the pelvic muscles, and the lining of the bladder. A 2022 study from the University of Delhi showed that men and women over 60 who ate 1 tablespoon of roasted pumpkin seeds in the evening had significantly improved bladder control within 4 weeks. Zinc helps regulate testosterone and estrogen balance, which indirectly affects the tone of bladder muscles and the hormone vasopressin, the body's natural anti-pee signal during sleep. Pumpkin seeds also contain magnesium, which relaxes smooth muscles throughout the urinary tract. When combined with zinc, magnesium acts like a brake pedal on bladder spasms, preventing those middle-of-the-night wake-ups. For best results, eat about 1 tablespoon, roughly 30 roasted seeds, after dinner, or sprinkle them over a small bowl of yogurt. They pair beautifully with a cup of warm, unsweetened soy milk, which adds extra tryptophan and calcium for deeper rest. 3. Pistachios, the mood soother. You've heard of tryptophan in turkey, but pistachios contain one of the highest plant-based levels of this calming amino acid. Tryptophan helps your brain produce serotonin and melatonin, two chemicals essential for emotional calm and sleep stability. A joint study by Stanford University and the Indian Institute of Medical Sciences in 2023 reported that seniors who ate 20 to 25 pistachios, about 1 ounce, in the early evening showed better serotonin balance and 30% fewer nocturnal awakenings compared with the control group. The researchers concluded that pistachios' unique blend of tryptophan, B6, and magnesium creates a neuro-calming effect that supports both mood and bladder relaxation. But timing is everything. Don't eat pistachios right before lying down. The ideal window is about 90 minutes before bed, when your body is transitioning from digestion to restoration. Choose unsalted, raw, or lightly roasted pistachios. Too much sodium will undo their relaxing benefits. Creating your evening bladder-friendly routine. Here's a simple routine many of my older patients in both the US and India follow. About 90 minutes after dinner, choose one of the 3 nuts above, never all at once. Eat a small portion, 1 ounce or about 6 to 8 pieces. Pair it with a warm drink like herbal tea or a half cup of milk to aid tryptophan absorption. Avoid caffeine, alcohol, and very salty snacks during this time. This combination tells your nervous system, the day is over. Your heart rate slows, your kidneys filter less, and your bladder stops sounding the midnight alarm. The beauty of these simple foods is that they restore confidence. Many older adults fear losing control of their bodies, but the truth is, your bladder listens closely to your habits. What you eat after sunset sends it messages. Feed it calm, and it will stay calm. So tonight, skip the cashews or Brazil nuts. Instead, enjoy the rhythm of balance. A few walnuts for rest, a spoon of pumpkin seeds for strength, or a handful of pistachios for peace. Because your bladder doesn't need new medication. It needs your kindness, your rhythm, and your trust that nature still works when you listen to it. Caution and who should or should not apply this routine. Before you begin any health routine, especially one that changes what you eat at night, it's important to pause and understand whether your body is ready for it. Because the truth is, natural methods only work when they fit your individual rhythm, your age, your medication, your metabolism, and your organ's current state. This approach of balancing minerals, calming the bladder, and improving sleep is best suited for people with mild nighttime urination, those who get up once or twice a night but otherwise have stable health. If you're not on strong medication and your blood sugar, kidney function, and blood pressure are in normal range, this gentle bladder reset can work wonders. However, for some individuals, this approach needs modification. If you are on diuretics, blood pressure medicine, or thyroid medication, you must be extra careful. Certain nuts and seeds are high in magnesium, potassium, and selenium, which can alter how your body handles sodium and fluid balance. That's why people with chronic kidney disease, low blood pressure, or advanced prostate problems should first check with a doctor. A 2023 study by the Mayo Clinic Center for Geriatric Research showed that even small dietary mineral shifts can impact nighttime hydration and heart rhythm in adults over 70. One new insight from modern nutrition science is the role of vasopressin, the hormone that helps the body conserve water during sleep. Research from Johns Hopkins University, 2024, found that older adults who maintain stable evening electrolytes, meaning not too much salt, caffeine, or magnesium, preserve stronger vasopressin cycles and wake up less often at night. This means the goal isn't to cut all fluids, but to keep your mineral rhythm balanced before bedtime. So here's a practical takeaway. Always drink your last cup of water or herbal tea 1 hour before bed, not right before lying down. Avoid combining high magnesium nuts with diuretics at night. The effect can double. Reassess any healthy habits that disturb your sleep rhythm, even if they seem natural. And most importantly, remember this truth. It's not about fear. It's about rhythm. The older body isn't fragile, it's simply more responsive. When you understand how your organs follow time, you reclaim control. Guided by your doctor and supported by small, mindful changes, you can still enjoy restful nights and calm mornings, safely, naturally, and confidently. As this journey comes to a close, remember that your body isn't fighting against you. It's waiting for you to listen. Aging doesn't mean losing control. It means learning how your rhythm has changed. The foods, minerals, and habits that once worked in your 30s may need gentle adjustment in your 60s. That's not weakness, it's wisdom. When you give your bladder calm evenings, your sleep becomes deeper, your mornings lighter, and your energy steadier. A small bowl of the right nuts, eaten at the right hour, can be more powerful than any expensive supplement. Health, at this stage of life, is not about doing more. It's about doing less, but doing it right. So tonight, choose kindness for your body. Dim the lights, breathe slowly, and give your organs the silence they deserve. Let nature take back its role as your quiet healer. Tell us your age, where you're watching from, and what evening habit you'll change first. We read every comment because your experience might guide someone else toward peaceful sleep. May your nights be calm, your mornings bright, and your heart full of gratitude. Because true health begins when you rest without worry.